everybody in the back?
Yes, I can hear you.
This is my chance to yell in the library. My name is Amy Rellinger. I'm the current library director. I am about to celebrate my 24th anniversary working in this building.
But you're only 34.
Exactly.
How did you do that?
Child worker. I'm so pleased you all are here on your Friday evening. As you can imagine, this building, this staff, this library, this city means the world to us. And we are thrilled. Our statistics from 2025 just came out. We had, 333 programs. And we had about 361 people on average through the doors every day, 6 days a week throughout the year. And that doesn't count the almost 7 weeks that we were closed from the middle of November to the end of the year. This library is so well used by the community. We are just thrilled that is the way it is in our city. I know that the staff works really hard to make sure everyone is comfortable here. As you can imagine, people come here for many, many different reasons. Of course, they come here to read, they come here to study, they come here to use the Wi-Fi, they come here to stay warm, they come here to charge their phones, they come here to play and to meet their friends. I made them take down the puzzle table for tonight's event. The last time we had an after-hours event, we had to kick out the puzzle makers. So that was all put away for today. So I really just want to say thank you for supporting the library. Thank you for coming and taking a look at the new floors. They are just the beginning of renovations that we would like to make here. There's a lot more coming. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I have a list of people who are going to be talking tonight because they all played a huge role in making this project happen. We're going to, after me will be Maureen Canner, the Friends of the Attleboro Library, who the Friends just support us, not just with funds, but with moral support and, hey, Amy, what's your vision for a party? And I said, I just want cake. And they made all this beauty happen. Diane Mangiarotti is here to speak on behalf of the board, who listens to my tales once a month and gives me the moral support and guidance when I need it. Jack Jacoby will be here to speak on behalf of the Municipal Building Commission, who just led us through this project. I had to Google many of the terms that were used in those meetings, but I have experience with that. Kept us all on track. Todd Kobus is here from the Municipal Council, who voted to spend the money for this much needed renovation. And then finally, Kathleen DeSimone, the mayor of the city, will say a few words. So, with that, I will invite Maureen Canner up to talk.
And these are for you, Amy, from the Friends.
Aww.
Everyone will agree, the dedication and commitment that, Amy, that you have to not only the library, but to this whole community is outstanding, and we appreciate and value.
Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone, it's nice to see you. What an incredible turnout tonight. Brave souls coming out. The parking lot is nice and clear, so we were a little panicked, but everybody came through, so thank you. So welcome on behalf of the Friends, and welcome back. While our doors were closed for several weeks, the spirit of this library never closed. Today we celebrate more than a renovation. We celebrate renewal, resilience, and the continued life of a place that today is the heart of our city. The Friends of APL are proud to support this library through fundraising efforts, such as Library Giving Day, book sales, memberships, and countless volunteer hours. many of whom are here tonight. Through these efforts, we help fund museum passes, we support reading programs, we support puzzle night, we support pumpkin painting, we support holiday activities, and a host of cultural and educational resources that are beyond the city budget. Tonight's celebration was planned in coordination with the trustees and the friends who were pleased to help make this evening possible. You'll see two tables set up by the friends. Over around the corner is the table for our Library Giving Day, which is one of our biggest fundraisers of the year. So if you have a chance, just meander over there and find out a little bit about what it's all about. Our goal is to raise $20,000 for this year. So no matter what people can contribute, from the smallest amount, and we'll even accept large amounts, if anyone please feel free to do that. We also have a table downstairs, I think, membership table. So if you're already a member and you might need to renew, you can stop by that table. Or if you'd like to become a friend, it's so inexpensive and it gives so much support to this library. There are brochures that you can fill out. So thank you for being here and celebrating this remarkable community treasure. May these floors carry the footsteps of our community for many, many years to come. Thank you.
So, welcome again. We're going to hear it again. I want to thank Amy and her staff for getting through the disruption of being off-site in November and December. Also, thank you to the friends for organizing this celebration. It's quite a success, as you can see. In the early 1900s, local leaders and philanthropists, Everett Horton, and their pictures are all over there. Everett Horton, Willie Lamb, and Lyman Sweet, Joseph Lyman Sweet. They envisioned a library for the town of Attleboro. It wasn't a city then. They chose a classic Beaux-Arts design with large windows and skylights, all bringing natural light. Now, this was in the early 1900s. They included a children's room, which was very innovative back then. Lyman Sweet donated the land for the library, and then they all donated the money, $85,000, to build the library. They brought in a librarian from Pawtucket Library, who they knew was very progressive. She came here and worked, and she introduced the card catalog. She opened stacks where people could choose their books. She made newspapers available to attract working class people to come into the library. We owe a huge debt to these progressive thinkers back in the early 1900s. Their ideas have withstood the test of time. The layout in our library has changed over the years. The entrance was changed in the 1980s due to the Disability Act, and our city government has supported the efforts of the library. We have received funding for projects that needed to take place. We are able to carry on the tradition of welcoming all to an innovative and well-run library. And looking to the future, we are getting new furniture for the library, and we hope to get an electronic sign in front of the library to inform the public about library programs and events. Thank you. And if you get a chance, check out the picture. There's Letitia over there, and then Lyman Sweet and Horton, and I forgot the other name now, but they're all pictured in this room here, which I thought was kind of neat. Anyway, that's it. Oh, thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Jacoby. It's been my pleasure the last 35 years to be a member of the Municipal Building Commission, and we have the role of hiring the architects, the clerk of the works, and overseeing the construction. It's always such a pleasure for me to be in this room because I think this is the best looking room in the entire city. You look around at the marble here, you look at the mosaic, you could not ever build a room like this ever again. Amazingly to me, 35 years ago, the then library director, Walter Stitt, called me and said that we were going to engage in a major project to tear the old portion of the library that had been built at some point off and put a new addition on. So this original building, it goes back to the early 1900s, but what you see back there is what we built in the early 1990s. And amazingly, I'm still there at the Building Commission. And so I'd just like to say, though, that on behalf of the members of the commission, it's our pleasure to be able to serve the city and to oversee projects. I want to thank the mayor and the city council for allowing us to do that. It's been a lot of fun, and it's always great to be back in this room, so thank you.
Thank you.
Outstanding. It's great to see everyone. I'm here on behalf of the City Council and also speaking as a member of the City Council. I'd like to thank everyone here and welcome them back to the Attleboro Public Library. There's a bunch of other elected folks here. I saw from the council is Councilor McIntyre, Sawyer, Vice President Dolan, Councilor Morrissey, and a number of people from the school committee all here celebrating this. Scott Domenici, Aaron Bennett, and Chris Bradford were all here. And those are just the people I saw. So as everyone knows, over the last couple months, or I guess couple years actually, this building's undergone a lot of change. Obviously, most recently, the carpets. I remember thinking about that project when they came before the council, talking about taking all of these books out and then bringing them back in, and the logistical nightmare of that. And before that, it was the building envelope renovation, all of that to sort of make this ready for generations to come. And I think that's so incredibly important. So obviously this kind of disruption is never fun, but it's necessary to preserve such an important space for our community. So first and foremost, I'd like to thank the patrons and everybody here for their patience. Mr. Wiggins?
Yep.
To thank the city departments that gave the library workers temporary homes during the construction, and especially to the library staff who run this wonderful place. And in the middle of all that is Amy. And Amy, I'm really happy that I get to publicly quote the public in the public library, and especially after the snow that we just had. For those not familiar with the movie The Public, it's about a library in Cincinnati that becomes an informal shelter during a cold snap. The movie includes Emilio Estevez as this incredibly hardworking and compassionate librarian who provides incredibly great care for everyone. So with that said, Amy, and to quote the movie, it must be really nice to have a job where you get to read all day. But seriously, if you've ever wondered what quiet, competent leadership looks like, just look at Amy. From coordinating all of these projects to keeping the library functioning to ensuring the library isn't just a warehouse for books, Amy's in the middle of all of that. And thankfully, here in Attleboro, things are not as dramatic as in the movie. But the ideas are the same. Our library is one of the few places where people can come in, be warm, be safe, and be treated with dignity, whether you're here for tax forms, job applications, story time, or simply somewhere to sit. The work to maintain that environment can be seen in the social workers' office hours and staff training to better serve seniors and folks with disabilities, and in the everyday patience they show to people who are struggling. And the staff does it with a level of compassion that makes me personally incredibly proud. So thank you. With that said, I have to admit that I'm still a little bit disappointed that the big read isn't going to happen this year. But I'm also
little read. It's a little read.
I'm really excited to see what you guys have to offer. And once you have something to present, let me know and we'll hold a council meeting here amongst these gorgeous columns and marble and all of that, and I'm genuinely really looking forward to doing that. And for everyone else here, before everyone leaves, please don't forget to renew your library cards. No, seriously, because people often forget that grant funds are based on usage, which is often measured by how many active library cards are out there. So just make sure your library cards are active. So with that said, and again, on behalf of the council and the school committee, welcome back to the Attleboro Public Library.
Welcome back.
All right, Mayor,
Oh,
you're up.
I got lost in thought. Hello. Thank you, Amy. So first of all, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Attleboro Public Library. A particular and hearty welcome to Amy and the library staff. You guys know what kind of fan I am. I like to fangirl like you guys all the time. So first of all, it's an absolute pleasure to be here again in this beautiful space. And although the carpet may be new, the heart and soul of this building remain exactly as it has been since 1907. As we officially celebrate the reopening of the library, we aren't just looking back at the history of 120 years, we are looking forward to the next century of story times, research projects, and community debates. By the way, nobody in here has any snowballs in their pockets, right? Because if this goes south, I don't want to be pelted with snowballs after the week I've had. As some of you may know, before I became an elected official, I was a proud member of the Attleboro Public Library Board of Trustees. I had the privilege of serving on the board for several years, along with Judge Lee, John Carty, Charlie Oliver, Mahesh Patel, Trisha Swenson, Linda Binns, Vic Bonneville, Diane Mangiarati, Toby Reed, and Eileen Straminsky. Some of those folks served on the board for decades. That's how cool and great that board is. And some of them are in fact still members, Diane and a few others. But all were hardcore library lovers. I wanted to be on the board of trustees for several reasons. I valued the library because of the many hours I spent here with my kids and the many books we read together. I valued the library because I remembered being an ESL teacher next door at the Literacy Center and bringing my adult students here to get a library card. And the librarian and the staff could not have been more supportive and kind to those students. Moreover, I value the Attleboro Public Library and all public libraries because they are perhaps the greatest social equalizer. It may sound corny, but it is true nonetheless that libraries are vital to our democracy because they ensure free, equal, and public access to information, and we all love valid, accurate information, don't we? The library empowers an educated electorate and fosters civic engagement. It's where people get together, and we need to be together more. As trusted community hubs, libraries protect intellectual freedom, bridge the digital divide, and provide neutral spaces for dialogue. Of course, they're also stewards of our First Amendment rights. When I was then elected to the municipal council in 2020, I had to leave the library board, which I've said several times was the one thing I didn't like about being elected, because I love the board. And although I left the board, I never stopped loving the library. In 2024, I became mayor in 2023. In 2024, a little more than a year later, I asked the council to fund the carpet replacement project. A project that had been long discussed, was on the capital improvement plan for several years, but never brought to fruition. I'm grateful to my colleagues on the council for supporting my request, and I'm grateful to be here with all of you tonight to celebrate this investment in our library and in our community. As everyone here knows, for over a century, the Attleboro Public Library has been more than just a collection of books. It's been basically the living room of Attleboro. You think back to when these doors first opened, Attleboro was then the jewelry capital of the world, a city of industry, grit, and innovation. But our ancestors knew then what we know today, that the city's true wealth isn't in just the items that we manufacture, but in the minds that we nurture. To our longtime library lovers here today, you are the reason for the worn out carpeting. And you are the reason that these familiar floors are covered again in brand new carpeting. So I hope that you and many, many more folks like you wear out these rugs too, because that will indeed be a telltale sign of a building, a place, and a space that is much and well loved. Thank you to the Board of Trustees, the Friends of the Library, and every taxpayer who understands that a library is the heartbeat of a civilized society and one of my favorite places in the city. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, thank you.
So we do have a few minutes before the grandfather clock starts chiming. So I will let you know that the entire building is open right now. The elevator is unlocked, which means the fourth floor where the technical services area, my office, Cindy's office, the historic commission, and the historic commission folks are actually on the fourth floor and welcome you to look at their space. Walter Stitt was in here last week, giving a few of the board members a historic tour of the building. But I have to say, Diane, like, do you want to give a historic tour of the building? Are you prepared to give a Walter level tour of this building?
But his video was very good.
Yeah, so we'll post his video online. But so rather than do tours, I just really want to encourage you to take a look at every corner of this building. Like, if you've never been to the third floor and you don't know where the college and career section is, you don't know what the young adult section is, you don't know where the travel guides are, this is your chance to wander up and down those aisles and look at those collections that we have. If you haven't been into the kids' room and looked at every inch front to back of that wild, fun, high energy carpet that is in there, this is your chance to do that. Everything that, if you have questions, can I have the staff who are here raise their hands? Got two folks over here, I've got Cindy over here, I think Mary and Mary. Nick is over, and I just want to say Nick was one of my middle school volunteers a lifetime ago, and now works at the circulation desk. That's how awesome Attleboro's library is. So again, rather than tours, please explore every inch of this building. This is your chance. We will post Walter's video on our Facebook page. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who made this happen, from the beautiful cake that Carrie St. Pierre made of our library, to the programs that were created by Michelle Wagner, to the signs of our donors who are on the tables that were made by Trish Swenson. I can't even remember all the people, to the volunteers who are working here tonight. They came here to support the library and education in Attleboro, and it just makes me so, so proud of our city. Thank you.
Thank you.